sisters and brothers. Dr. King used to say that at a time like this, silence is betrayal. And so it's so very important for all of us to stand up for one another. There was a Lutheran pastor during the time of Hitler's Third Reich named Martin Niemöller. He said that first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak up because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak. Dr. King put it this way. He said, we are tied in a single garment of destiny, caught up in an inescapable network of mutuality. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And so we stand in solidarity with our Asian sisters and brothers because, first of all, we acknowledge your humanity. And that's the problem with so much that's going on in our world. There are ways in which there are people who try to invisibilize other people, to make them invisible, to create a caricature, to create a prism that makes it hard to see each other's humanity. And when you diminish a people's humanity and you center other people as if they are something greater than anybody else, then you start focusing on their humanity even when they're the perpetrator and ignoring the victims. And so I'm sick and tired of hearing about what happened with this sick and misguided person. I'm not interested in whether or not he had a bad day. Talk about a bad day. That kind of speech comes when you don't see the humanity of a people. And so I just wanted to drop by to say to my Asian sisters and brothers, we see you. And more importantly, we are going to stand with you. We are all in this thing together. Now, we've been pushing through this terrible pandemic now for a year. And there are those who are trying to use this opportunity as a way of dehumanizing Asian folk, right? And it's quite ironic because if there's anything COVID-19 has taught us, it has taught us that we are really tied together. It is tragic. We've lost hundreds of thousands of lives. But in a real sense, the pandemic is its own parable. It is its own moral lesson. Because all of a sudden, if my neighbor is sick, she coughs. The reason we all have on these masks and doing everything we can to protect one another is that although she may be sick, I am potentially imperiled by my neighbor. Now, that doesn't make my neighbor my enemy. That just means that I have a stake in your well-being. I'm saying to you that if we ought to learn anything from COVID-19, it's that we are as close to one another as a cough. That's how close our humanity is. So there'll be public policy discussions. There are things that we have to do as U.S. senators, and we will address those. We're addressing them. We got to deal with gun violence. We need reasonable gun reform. We got to deal with these. We got to make sure that we have strong hate crimes on the book at the state level and at the federal level. And we got to stop pretending like hate laws and laws regarding terrorism only apply to black people and brown people and people of color and Muslims. But today, my friends, I just wanted to come My brother and I just wanted to come and be here with you. I just wanted us to be together. I want you to know that I love you. And when I say that, I don't mean that in any sentimental way. I love you. And justice is what love looks like in public. So we got to get some justice. God, you are known by many names, worshipped in many houses. But grant to all those who suffer your peace that surpasses human understanding. And make us instruments of your peace in the name of the God who loves us into freedom and frees us into loving. Amen.
Lost their lives, as we express our love and support for their families, as we express our love and support for our Asian American and Pacific Islander sisters and brothers. This is Georgia. All of us gather here today in love. This is Georgia. Hatred and murder do not define us. We stand resiliently in defiance of hatred and murder. This is Georgia. This is love. This is compassion. This is the best of us, and this is what defines the people of our state and our nation, not those who kill or scapegoat or engage in racism or hate speech or hate crimes. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all. Now please join with us once again today and observe a moment of silence for those killed and their loved ones. And now let's look into our hearts and ask ourselves what we must do to rid our community of the scourge of violence, to rid our community of the scourge of racism and misogyny, to recommit all of us as individuals and we as a community to defining our lives based upon our shared humanity and our love for each other. This is Georgia. We gathered here today to honor and remember those who lost their lives and to demand justice. Let us build a state and a nation where you can register to vote the same day as an election, but you cannot buy a weapon the same day you intend to kill. Let us build a state and a nation where no one lives in fear because of who they are, or where they or their family come from, or how they live their life. We are here gathered in love. Blessings to all of you. Gratitude to all of you. We move forward together. Thank you.